went alone to the Game Awards?
So we're around a week from the Game Awards, where the final character in the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighters Pass is almost guaranteed to be revealed. Will it be Doomguy, or Dante, or Arl? Well, there's a good chance it could be any of them, but I also think there's a very strong chance it might not be any third-party character. Prior to the announcement of more DLC characters, this was it. There was a time in development where the 5th character in the Fighters Pass would have been the very last character in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So it has to end on a high note, right? Well, Brawl ended with Wolf, Smash 4 ended with Duck Hunt, Smash 4 DLC ended with Corrin, and Smash Ultimate's base roster ended with Incineroar. All great characters, but none were impossible expectations. And thus far, the Fighters Pass has been largely that. Banjo and Kazooie had been requested ever since Melee, but seemed unreachable due to Microsoft owning the characters, and Joker had basically no affiliation with Nintendo. Hero was more of an inevitability, and Terry had a massive legacy. But so far, the Fighters Pass has been bringing in some of Smash's most out there third-party additions. So who is next? Well, I think we're sort of getting into the problem here. With Smash speculation, we look far too close into patterns and rules. Here's the first rule: there are no rules. No third-party characters? Bam. Characters can't have guns? Bam! Characters can't be too sexy? Bam! Characters can't come from another platform holder? Bam! Mii costumes deconfirm playable characters? Bam, 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 bam. I mean, take a second and look at this. This is a game where a playable fighter is also in someone else's Final Smash and can then Final Smash himself and then applaud himself. But Shantae can't be in because she has a PNG. So based on this, I don't think we can follow the assumption that the final character has to be a third party. I mean, look at it this way. If the first 4 characters were first party, would that make the 5th one being third party impossible? Of course not. And with this once being quote-unquote the final character of Smash Ultimate, I don't think there's evidence leading to first or third party either way. It's either going to be another third party addition, a first party character they wanted in the game but couldn't due to time constraints, or a character that was created after the game was released. And in fairness, a lot of Smash speculation comes from educated guesses. They're based on past precedent, but precedent can change at any moment. There aren't rules on who can and who can't get into Smash, apart from maybe the age rating. They can bend it for weapons, but not for exposed female cleavage. Sorry, Mai. Now let's take a different path. Knuckles is an assist trophy but also appears in the background of Green Hill Zone, and because of this, the Knuckles assist trophy is disabled on Green Hill. Both forms of Knuckles are in the game and they coexist together without cancelling out the other. It's far more subtle than Chrom 2, who, again, this is a playable character. So because Knuckles is an assist trophy and also a background material, does that mean he couldn't be playable too? Well, based on past precedent it seems unlikely, but it's also not impossible. If Knuckles were in play, then the assist trophy could just be disabled, just like it is on Green Hill. Likewise, Knuckles in the background could also be disabled. So if your favourite character is an assist trophy, then it's definitely not impossible. It's not as likely, but there's still a chance. I mean, when Toon Link joins the battle, Alfonso says, "Leave it to me." These things are not set in stone. And one of the most popular debunk theories come from spirits. Lots of playable characters have variations of themselves as spirits, but we've yet to have a standard playable character just flat out be a spirit in their vanilla form. And you know why this is? Because every DLC character so far wouldn't have been a spirit. There were no SNK spirits, there were no Square Enix spirits outside of Cloud and maybe Mario RPG characters, Microsoft wouldn't have had any spirits, and there were no Sega spirits outside of Sonic and assist trophies. There are only a few third-party franchises that aren't otherwise represented in Smash who have spirits, like Rayman and Shantae. They didn't reach too far out there with spirits outside of Nintendo and third parties that were already playable, and because all the DLC so far has been from third parties, there hasn't yet been a contradiction. But that contradiction is going to come. You can bet on it. It may not necessarily be with the upcoming character, but it will without a doubt come in Season 2. And if we are to use past precedent, well, Lucas had a trophy in Smash Wii U prior to his DLC announcement. Isn't that the exact same thing, but bigger than a spirit? So I'm saying Shantae, Rayman, Slippy, Ashley Robbins, there's nothing stopping any of them. Now of course, post-game spirits may be another story. The reason I don't believe anything from the base game can contradict the DLC is because they were created before the DLC. But when Resident Evil characters get spirits a year after the game releases and just at the end of the first Fighters Pass, yeah, chances aren't looking too good. The Tetris and Resident Evil spirits allow these franchises to be represented in the game. They're a great thing. If those characters were in the DLC, they probably would have just waited until they released to release these spirits. It doesn't make characters impossible, but it's very unlikely. No Claire though. And as for the spirit board every DLC character comes with, their existing spirits wouldn't need to contradict that. Like if Claire does get in, which again is unlikely, there would be far more Resident Evil spirits to choose from than just the existing 4. Like imagine a merchant battle with the opposing player just being loaded with items. That would be awesome. So, based on all this, could the next fighter very well be Doomguy or Sora? Yeah, sure, why not? But I personally believe there's an equal, if not higher chance of it being a Nintendo character they wanted in the roster all along. Rex and Pyra.
It's a Mii sword fighter outfit based on Rex from Xenoblade Chronicles 2. We decided which fighters to include when we started planning, so we couldn't add characters from titles like Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which was announced after planning had started. I hope this outfit will help you feel like you're playing as Rex.
There is always a chance that Season 2 of the DLC was already planned at the conception of Season 1, but assuming that wasn't the case, this would have been their very last chance to get these characters in, and they wanted them in. And I really don't think the Mii costume means anything because, again, bam 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 bam. Now, would it be a crazy, climactic ending to the Fighters Pass? Well, not really, but it kinda depends on who you ask. The beauty of Smash is there is someone who is a big fan of every character. Rex and Pyra wouldn't have the industry-shaking impact of someone like Lara Croft, but it would make a lot of people happy, just like Wolf, Duck Hunt, Corrin, and Incineroar before. There are of course other first-party candidates like Bandana D, Impa, the entire cast of Fire Emblem Three Houses, and tons more. Heck, Pokemon's arguably the biggest franchise in Smash, and we've never had a Smash lineup without a Pokemon. Gen A is still fresh, and is a very real possibility. It's also good to take into account that the industry doesn't revolve around Smash, but Smash does revolve around the industry. So a franchise getting a new game isn't a hint that a character is coming, that's just business being business. So DMC3 launching on Switch in February doesn't really mean anything. Like the DMC games would have come regardless, as the HD work is already done, much like Resident Evil and Okami. Dante could be a Smash character, but the games mean nothing. We've had characters get into Smash with basically no Nintendo affiliation. They don't need new games. That said, basically everything's on the table, apart from Goku. Sakurai put it best himself when he said being fun is what decides a character. There aren't rules and publisher relationships can be worked out. The next DLC character doesn't have to follow the third-party trend, but it also very well could. It could be Rex and Pyra, it could be Guigi, it could be Bug. Not long until we find out, and don't let anyone put down your favourite pick. Every video game character is possible. And with all that in mind, who do you guys think the next character might be? Let us know your thoughts down below, and of course be sure to subscribe to GameXplain for a lot more on Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and other things gaming too. Until next time, bye!